Everybody to our K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series. Today's session is led by our K-12 Solutions Engineering team, and we'll be covering portfolios in Blackboard Learn. My name is Riley McClure. I'm the Product Marketing Manager for our Teaching and Learning K-12 Solutions, and I'll be moderating the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series throughout this fall. Also want to give a big shout out to Jenny Breister and Katie Gallagher from our K-12 marketing team, who will also be helping to answer questions in the chat and any questions you might have about using Blackboard Collaborate and so on. And as always, our contact information is up here on the slide. If there's any particular topics or questions that you would like us to see covered through our Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series, please feel free to reach out to any of us, and we try and honor all requests as we're able to. Also, if you're interested in presenting a session at all, feel free to reach out and we can chat about that as well. So just a couple housekeeping items here. Just wanted to remind everyone that all of these sessions are recorded and will be posted to our Blackboard YouTube channel. You can get to that channel using the link here on the slide, tinyurl.bitsk12. You can also, if you go to YouTube and search for Blackboard, you can search for our K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series playlist, and that should be come up there. Also wanted to update everybody on something new we have for BITS this fall. We have a new Blackboard community site that we launched at BB World in July, and we've created a K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series professional learning community. This community is open to anybody that is interested in joining. It's hosted, you can see the link here, community.blackboard.com. If you are interested in joining, feel free and type a note in the chat, and I can send you a personal invite. I will also be sending invites out to those who are attending today and requested one of our new professional development certificates. And basically, the purpose of this community is just to kind of take some of the conversations that here on this webinar series, to extend those beyond just the hour that together here and try and create a community of Blackboard or educators using Blackboard tools and are facing some similar challenges. So looking forward to seeing you all there, and hope you all take a moment to check that out and to join. So finally, just wanted to remind everybody, we are running sessions throughout this fall on Mondays and Fridays. We've got some other great sessions coming up. Monday, we'll be hosting a session transitioning to blended learning, preparing pre-service and in-service teachers. Sarah Schroeder and Ashley Martinez from the University of Cincinnati will be presenting, along with Danielle Timmets from Learn 21 and our own Katie Gallagher. And then Friday, we also have a great session that I would highly encourage everybody to check out. As you may know, we have a new partnership with Quickly to integrate Google Drive and OneDrive and other cloud resources into Blackboard Learn. John DiGennaro and Matt Hodges, the founders of Quickly, will be walking through how Blackboard Learn customers can take advantage of that, which this is a free tool that we have. And then Danielle Timmets from Learn 21 and Geshri Gunasekara, one of our Blackboard experts, will also be talking a little bit more about what that means for Blackboard Learn customers. And then finally, next Monday, September 28th, Jessica Gardner, who's a teacher down at Sarasota County Public Schools, we'll be talking about the flipped classroom and some of the ways that she's incorporated Blackboard into her fourth grade courses. So without further ado, today's session is going to be led by Claudine Townley, who's one of our K-12 solutions engineers, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to her, and we can kick this session off.
Great. Thank you, Riley. I appreciate it. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for taking the time today to join us. We're going to talk about portfolios. I know you're not going to be shy and you're going to ask lots of questions as we go through. I thought I'd start off with a couple of slides and then move into a live demo so you can see what the portfolio tool actually looks like. If you haven't looked at the tool in a while and you use the old portfolio tool, I do want to point out that in the past year, we've improved the portfolios. We have much easier authoring workflow. It's very, very simple to use. The design is simple, and there's a really tight integration between courses and portfolios, so it makes it easy to assign portfolios and bring in content. As I mentioned, now instructors can actually assign a portfolio as an assignment, and I'll show you how to do that in a few moments. They can choose a template so that students can use that template in order to submit their portfolios, really offering more guidance for those students. If they're not sure what to create or what to put in it, then it allows for that. Instructors also can associate a rubric, which we all know is a best practice anytime we assign an assignment. So the teachers have a little bit more standardization and students really know what's expected of them. And then I'll show you a little bit about the artifacts that you can pull from course assignments. You can upload personal artifacts, and the fact that the artifacts actually persist even though if a student pulls an artifact out of, say, their English class, and then they're no longer in English, that artifact will continue to persist in their portfolio, which is a very nice feature. Some people have expressed that they're not sure where to find those portfolios. The tool does have to be turned on by your system admin, and once it is turned on, you can find that in the My Blackboard menu under the tools. So let's take a few minutes and pop in there and see what portfolios actually look like. So give me 1 minute and I will share my desktop. You're going to see a crazy screen for just a minute, so bear with me. And now you should be able to see my Blackboard Learn Lake Park School District landing page. Riley, can you confirm that you guys can see that?
Yep, looks great.
Okay, yep, perfect. Thank you. All right, so where do you go to find portfolios? Come on up here to the My Blackboard area, and if you scroll down here to Tools, as long as the tool has been turned on by your system admin, you'll find portfolios right here. The reason you find the portfolio tool here associated with you, the user, and that you be a teacher user or a student user, any user can actually create a portfolio, is because the portfolio is associated with the user, not necessarily with the course. And that way, the portfolio can persist after someone is out of a classroom. So we want those portfolios to be there and associated with the person. So you come to this main page, you'll see I'm here in my portfolios, and any portfolios I create just live right here in this area. You can see I have one on professional development. I can click on it to edit that portfolio. I can take a look at it just if I want to see what it looks like. If I click here on more, you'll see I can actually share my portfolio with someone else. So this is a great little tool. You'll see that I haven't shared this portfolio with anyone, actually just built it. But think about a student, or think about a teacher who might want to share a professional development portfolio with their principal, a student who's creating a portfolio and they want to share that with a mentor or with their parent or with someone out of the community. You just come here to share portfolio, and you can see you can share the portfolio with both internal and external users, or with an entire class if you wanted to use it as an example, get feedback. So I can actually email that if I'm a student to my parent, and you'll see that I just put the person's name. We auto-populate a little area here. You can change that. You can add to it. You can send a copy to yourself. You can even add a password to it so that if you want to password protect that portfolio, you're able to do that. And you can set an expiration date. That's really nice if you're sharing a portfolio maybe with a college admissions officer and you don't want them to have that portfolio for some reason forever. So you can set an expiration date. So when that's done, it will stop persisting. So I'm going to come back here to my portfolios, and I can also create a portfolio from this area. So very simply, I click on Create. I give it a title, just call it Sample. And you can see I can write a description if I want. I can make it available. If people comment on the portfolio, I maybe don't want other folks to see those comments, or I can open it up so other people can see it. And I click submit, and I get into the portfolio area. It starts out always with the ability to take the tour, so let me show you what that looks like. You can see that it's pretty simple. It shows you where to add the header and how it repeats on every page. That this is the navigator, the way that you set it up. Each portfolio has at least one page, and it's very simple. The plus creates a new page, the garbage can deletes it, and then you can easily reorder by just selecting the little arrows up and down. Here's where you insert a section, so a page can have multiple sections to it. You can give it titles, you can add artifacts here, you can upload them, you can reflect, because we know one big piece of portfolios are the reflection and the ideas behind them. And then all the different things that you can do. You can always come in here and edit. You can preview it. What does it look like? Do I like it? Do I want to customize it by changing the layout? You can change the color. And then there's some other different settings, the portfolio title, a description. If you want to change the comments, you had them private, you want to make them public. All of that allows you to do that here. So now we're done. That's pretty much all there is to it. And I close it up, and I can actually just go ahead and start building. Simple as just typing in, adding new sections, very, very simple, easy to use interface. So I'm going to come back here to my portfolios, and you'll see now my sample has opened up here. We have a few other things here in this area. I have my artifacts. So these are the artifacts that I can add. It's almost like a little storage folder. So I can add personal artifacts. If I click on this, it allows me to give it a title, a description if I like. I can write a reflection or any comments here, and I can browse my computer or the Learn Content collection and pull any item from a file and attach it here. I can also come to artifacts from a class. So I can choose, you can see I am obviously involved in many classes. I don't have any results here because I'm the teacher. I don't have any assignments that I have turned in. So what happens for a student is any assignments I have will populate in this area, and I can choose them and add it to my artifact library. Once artifacts have been added here, they persist. So even though maybe I added something from biology, maybe I had a great essay I wanted to add, it will live here, and even when I'm done with biology, that artifact will remain. Then I can click here and see any portfolios that have been shared with me. So you can see I have two portfolios. One is a professional collective record portfolio from another teacher, and then I have another portfolio from a student. And you'll see here it says shared snapshot. When you share a portfolio, it creates a snapshot of the portfolio at that time. This is important because it allows the person who owns the portfolio to continue to work on it even after they've shared it. They don't have to wait for feedback before they move on. So it's just what that portfolio looks like at that time. And I can actually come in here and open that portfolio up and see what it looks like. So here's a student's portfolio. Perhaps I'm his mentor. This is his 9th grade project. He wants to share with me some of the things that he's written. Here's a lot of, you can see the assignment artifacts that he's attached here, journal entries and resumes, some images that are associated with John Lennon, his oral presentation, his self-evaluation, etc. So I can read through this. I can look at the snapshot of this portfolio, and then I can add comments if I like. So you can see that I have given one comment here, and this is where that little check mark, if you want comments to be private, just so you, the portfolio owner, can read them, or do you want other people who are looking at the portfolio to be able to see those? So you can easily add a comment, give it a subject, you get your full content editor, and obviously just type it in and submit so that the owner of the portfolio can see exactly what it is, what kind of feedback you gave. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I have a template area down here because I'm a system admin. Students would not see that template area. Other users wouldn't see it. If I want to get rid of any portfolios, I just check them, and I can move them, I can delete them, whatever it is I want to do. So from here, let me take you into an actual class and show you what it's like from there to assign a portfolio. So if I come back
Hey,
here,
Claudine. I
question?
think Janet had a question in the chat. She
Sure.
asked, so this is a school website hosted by Blackboard?
So this is Blackboard Learn, which is a learning management system, and this would be a school. This is our sample. This is one that's owned by our Blackboard Solutions Engineering team. But yes, your school district, if they license Learn, would have this feature. Does that answer your question? Because I'm sharing my screen, I can't see the chat. So,
She said yes.
okay, all right, awesome. Please let me know if you have other questions.
Yep, will do.
Okay, awesome. So let's come over here, and I'm going to go to my classes, and let's go into this language arts class. I was a former language arts teacher, so I have a special place in my heart for English. So if I come down here to my 9th grade project, and maybe I want to create an assignment that's a portfolio. So very simply, I come here, I have my editing mode on so that I can edit and create items as the teacher. And I click create assignment because that's what a portfolio would be. I can create all kinds of assignments in this area, but in this case, I want to create a portfolio. So I give the assignment a title. I can write some instructions here if I like. I can even attach a file. So if I wanted to attach some sort of sample or other directions, I could do that. Give it a due date. I can even associate a rubric if I want here. And then I just come over here and you'll see that if I choose portfolio submission, that students will be directed to the portfolio area. I can even select a portfolio template. So if you wanted to create a template, you could work with your system administrator, let them know what you want in that template, and then all of those templates persist in your instance of Learn. And so that you could choose a template to associate with your portfolio so that when students get to the portfolio, they kind of know what to do. And you can see there's a description. So maybe another teacher who's creating a project wants to use this template. So maybe there's multiple 9th grade teachers and they're all doing the same project so that every student has the same portfolio template. So you can think about those kinds of things. Maybe there's a template for teachers for professional development to submit every year. So you want everyone in your district to use the same template. You could create one here and everyone would use it. So it's really easy to create a portfolio as an assignment. Let me go in and show you exactly what it looks like if I were a student. So here is a portfolio assignment that I've already created. You see there's a little description in it. They're gonna create a scrapbook, and that's what their portfolio is going to be. When I click on it, as if I were a student, I can see that the teacher's associated a rubric with a portfolio, and I can take a look at that rubric. I can see what it is expected of me, what I have to include. This is the same portfolio that you saw a little bit ago that Cody had turned in, so the written artifacts, the images, etc. You can see there's an assigned template. So if I'm a student, I'm going to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. If I've already created the portfolio, I can select it and turn it in, but I want to create it from here. So if I click create and I give it a title, so I could give it a description if I choose. I click submit. It's going to take me right into the portfolio area. Again, it gives me the tour if I need it, and I can just say no thanks. And you'll see in this case, the template is already created. So the teacher, in conjunction with the site Blackboard administrator, has created this template. So the student knows that there should be a cover. They know that there's all these different sections and what's expected of them. The written artifacts they need, the images, the oral presentation, etc. So it's already been set up for them. To do is go in, add their artifact. So if I want to add an artifact from here, it takes me to that same area we saw earlier, where I can add a personal artifact, or I can go into an actual classroom, pull out an assignment, and add it. And in this case, because I'm a student in the language arts class, I would probably add some of those assignments here. And then it would just automatically populate right into my actual portfolio that I'm creating, but it also would populate that library area we saw earlier. So that's pretty much all there is. It's very easy to use, simple. I used to be the senior project coordinator. I would have loved to have digital portfolios, so I didn't have to carry around hundreds of 3-ring binders with portfolios in them. And then having a template is such a nice addition because students need the guidance of exactly what needs to be in a portfolio that they're creating. So it's a really nice part. So I'm going to stop talking now and see what questions that you might have. Just reading. Let's see. Is there a way for students to export when they graduate? Yes, absolutely, Carolyn. That's a great idea. And yes, there is. So there's a zip file that they can export and take that with them, and it populates in HTML just right in the web. So it will look just like what you just saw. So, yep, they can take them with them. Any other questions?
So Claudine, we got a couple of questions offline
Okay.
I can share with you. Can students add to their portfolios year after year?
Yes, actually they can. So as long as a student is a student in Learn, they could actually create a portfolio that started in elementary school or middle school or whatever, and then every year, as long as they're a user in Learn, they can continue to upload artifacts, they can pull from their assignments in the classes they're assigned, and they can just keep adding to that portfolio. So any user actually can continue to add items to their portfolio. So some people like to have a portfolio that persists through the life of the student. So that's something that you could use this for as well. I
Awesome.
don't,
So what happens to portfolios after students are no longer users in Learn? Are they able to take the portfolios with them or export those in some way?
yep, just like Carolyn asked, you can absolutely export those and they can have them in a zip file. They don't persist and learn after the user, and you wouldn't want them to actually because they could eat up a lot of space. So just like when the user is no longer in Learn, because the portfolio is associated with them, it would go away, but they can absolutely export it and take it with them. Carolyn, I don't know if there is a size limit. Um, it would really be the same as if you have video. You can add video because you have the ability to use the content editor and really add anything that you want. I can do a little research, Carolyn, and see. I don't think there is a size limit. I think that's totally dependent upon your institution, just like you would share any kind of limits. Other questions? These are great.
And everybody, if feel free to keep sending if you have any questions specific to portfolios and Learn. But if you have other questions about Blackboard Learn in general, other features, or even other Blackboard products, for example, Blackboard Collaborate, feel free to type those in the chat. And also feel free to turn on your mics and to share a question with us. It's a small open group, so we're the purpose of this is to encourage discussion. So don't be shy.
Absolutely, Janet. I think they absolutely could do that, collecting student work. Yep. there's a lot of different uses for it. I could definitely see it being, a requirement for a course, or I think about those kids who are seniors and moving on. Yep, absolutely.
So Claudine, I'll just we've gotten a couple other miscellaneous questions that I'll put out there for you. Are there any particular features in Learn that can help support things like academic integrity?
Yeah, actually, there are. Inside of Learn, we have a few different features. First of all, free with Blackboard Learn is Safe Assign. So this is a plagiarism detection tool. So some of you may have used Turnitin.com in the past, and it's very similar, but this is fully integrated into Blackboard Learn and is a free part. And it basically, when students turn in their work, you can run it the internet and also any other papers that are in your organization's database, and it will come back and just give you a printout of if this has been plagiarized and where it's been from. It's really helpful for students, especially in today's world, who don't always understand that you can't just take things off the internet and call it your own. Great teaching tool. Also, we have a lot of test settings. So within the test, if you wanted to randomize the order of questions, if you wanted to, so that every student, even if they were sitting in a classroom or a lab, the questions would be different. They'd be in a different order. We have test pools, so if you want to upload multiple questions that are associated with a standard, you could have a random test for different students. So everybody's test would look different. That's great too for mastery learning, so that if you want a student to have the ability to retake a test because they didn't do so well on it, they can go back and learn a little bit more, and you can guarantee them that they won't have the same test questions. It's just a memorization thing. Keep at it until you guess them all right, but they would actually do different tests, making sure that they did learn. You can also have settings that prevent backtracking. So if you don't want kids to go back and look at previous questions, you can set time limits. So lots of different opportunities in it of Learn to support academic integrity. Melissa, I'm glad, I like your comment. Yeah, I think just having a digital portfolio is a really nice way to, we used to have portfolios where I worked as well, but they were digital, but you had to just create them on your own, not inside of a learning management system. So everyone's was completely different and arbitrary, and you weren't always sure exactly what it was that you needed to include it. So it would have been nice to have something like this inside the system that everybody was using.
Claudine, we got one other question. Are there any ways, or how can Blackboard Learn be used for personalization of content?
Well, one of the features that we have in Learn is called adaptive release. It's one of my favorite things to use, actually. Having been a high school teacher, it's a lot of work to personalize and customize your course for kids who are struggling. You've got advanced students, so having the software to help you do that is something I wish I had when I was in the classroom. Adaptive release, what it does, it can release content specific to users or even groups of users. So if I know that maybe I have some math problems that are a little bit easier for a lower level group and a middle level and then a higher level, I could actually assign those questions out to different groups or even individual students. And then the students in the room wouldn't even necessarily know that we have different problems. We just know we're all doing an assignment in math. So that allows a lot of customization. You can also release content based on grades. So think about your students and you're working on mastery learning and you really don't want them to move on unless they get maybe at least a 70. You want to make sure that they've really gotten those concepts. So if the student gets at least a 70, content releases and they can move on in the course. If they don't, you can push them back and you can even open up remedial content, helping them to review and go back. I'm looking at your question now, Melissa. Is there a way to make adaptive release exclude teacher assistants? That I am not sure of. Katie, do you have any idea about that? I have never.
I missed that question. About adaptive release, is there a way to make adaptive release exclude teacher assistants? Exclude them in what way, Melissa? You can turn your mic on. Oh, your
No
mic
problem.
is working. Can you type in the chat then?
It shouldn't. I mean, a teacher assistant would normally not get the content, correct?
I was just curious what she meant by exclude teacher assistants from what?
Maybe from creating adaptive release.
An introductory unit, all students had to pass before the rest of the course opened. Okay. And then what did you want to do for teacher assistants then? It included.
So basically you're saying the TAs also had to pass the quiz as well.
Okay. Probably what to do, Melissa, is create a different role. Well, probably just give your teacher's assistants a different permission. So you're able in your course roles, I don't know, Claudine, if you can go into that and show how you can add or take away permissions from an existing role or create a copy of a role to do that.
I'm not sure I can show it on the fly, but I have an idea that you might be able to do as well, is if you create two groups, one group your teacher assistants and one group that is all of the rest of the students in the class, you could just release the content to the group of students instead of releasing it to everybody. That makes sense, Melissa. If you want to take this offline, Melissa, sometime we could probably schedule some time with you one-on-one in the SE team to help you out if you're interested. You wouldn't need admin permission to create the groups, but if you were making roles, as Katie suggested, that probably would have to come from your administrator. But you can go ahead.
In a course, like in standard Blackboard settings, a teacher has the ability to create new roles or to copy the existing teacher assistant role, create a new role, and assign different permissions to it. And it is want the teacher assistant to act more like the teacher than it currently is. So I would just want to look at those permissions so that it would function similar to the teacher instead of more like a student, so that the adaptive release rule wouldn't apply.
Any other questions about portfolios, about other functionality or features or things that you're wondering, or even other products?
Yeah, that's one thing that we wanted to point out. We're trying out this new format. In most of the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series sessions, presenters present for a good 45 minutes, and we've designed these Friday sessions with our solutions engineer experts so that you have a chance for really open Q&A. It doesn't have to be limited to just questions on the topic presented today, for example, portfolio. So it's designed as a help session so that you can ask any questions that you have, and we can try to help you on the fly.
If I'm looking at your comment, T, is the feedback that a teacher gives to a graded assignment included with the assignment when a student adds it to their portfolio? That's a great question, and actually they can choose. So when you add a piece of content. Let me see if I can show you actually. Give me just a moment. Let me log out and log in as a student so that you can see what it looks like. So I'm here as a student, and his name is Cody. And if I go into my tools and go into my portfolios, you'll see he has a couple in here. If I want to edit the student progress, and maybe I want to add an artifact, you can see here if that I have a lot of artifacts that I've already pulled in from my artifact library, or I can come from a class. So if I add, I'm going to see if I can find one. I may have pulled them already all in. Let's see. Yeah, it's already pulled in. So what normally happens is when the first time I pull the artifact over, because it's already in my library, it's not letting me show you that, but I can actually, here it is. Okay, include. So if I want, these are the items I can choose to include or not. So right now I have already submitted that I want the assignment description included, I want the name, but I do not want the grade or the rubric or any information. So if I choose the grade, then the feedback will come back over with it as well. So it's dependent upon the student as to whether or not I want to pull that information in, the information around the submission, the grade. Maybe I just want it to, maybe I got a poor grade and I don't want that. If I did grade, I would assume that I would want that in. Does that answer your question? Okay, great.
The thing that I really like about that certified artifact, Claudine, is how, a student can obviously not change the teacher's grade and feedback when they do include that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what other questions can we help you with?
So I have a question for the group that's still on. If there's no questions for our product experts, this is actually our first K-12 bits session using the new Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. So I just wanted to see if anybody that's still on had any feedback or what they think about the new Blackboard Collaborate, and if they if anyone's used it before, and just anything you have to share about that.
We haven't used it before, but it seems a lot easier and not as clunky.
Yeah, it really is. Open up right in the browser. It's been pretty awesome, and
Right.
I don't know if you've seen the video. Maybe Katie or Claudine, you could share your video, but the video is very high quality.
Have not seen it.
Now, Riley, it's just rude to ask a girl to share her video when they're not prepared.
Notice I did not volunteer to share my video.
I noticed that.
I vote for Riley to share his video.
It's a no shave Friday over here, so I'm gonna abstain for the moment.
Yay, Katie. She's a brave one. And Janet, yes, you can upgrade actually. If you're a current Collaborate user, you just have to put your administrator just puts in a ticket to behind the Blackboard, and you can actually be able to use both experiences depending on what you're doing. So there's no additional cost.
So you're saying we can use the old Collaborate and the new Collaborate at the same time?
That is correct. You can actually schedule in either way.
Yep, you
Awesome.
can schedule rooms in the original experience and the new experience.
You get to them the same way?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you go in to join a room, how do I know the difference? Which one to click on that I haven't seen?
There's a toggle where you switch between the new Collaborate and the original Collaborate. But for your district to have it, you put in a ticket to request the option for the new experience. And then you toggle between the two.
Okay.
The moderator who's scheduling the session would actually be the one who chooses what experience, and then everyone else who joins will be in that room. So the user doesn't get to choose, the moderator does. That makes sense.
All right. Well, do we have any other questions for our product experts while we have them on the line? If not, we can go ahead and give everybody a few minutes back in their day and make sure we can get the recording out to those who were not able to join.
I'm good for now.
So, Janet, I'm glad you asked that. So we will get you the recording in a couple ways. First, after every session, we will get you a follow-up email that will have a link to the YouTube recording. So once we're done here, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and post it on our YouTube channel. But this year we are also making it available in another place that we're hopeful will be a little bit more helpful. Our new community site is available. I just put the link to our K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series learning community here in the chat.
Ryan, since we have a couple extra minutes, why don't you give just a short little tour of the community site? Show it to them.
Sure, I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, so I won't be able to see the chat. But if you want to join, all you need to do is follow that link. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
So what is our username and password?
So you'll need to create it. You'll
Okay.
need to register, but it's free. There's really no obstacles to joining. And then once you join, you will just you'll need to search for the community or use that link, and that'll take you right there.
Okay, thanks.
So when you join, this is our new Blackboard community site. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Yep, we can.
Okay, great. So once you registered and join, you'll probably be taken to the home page of the community, and really the Blackboard community. This is a community of all Blackboard users and administrators. So if you have a question or discussion or an idea about a product, something like that, you can things in these places. But as part of our community, we also have communities and smaller spaces, where focus groups like our K-12 educators, may want to get together to discuss things. And so if you go to join the community program, what you'll find, well, you will be able to find shortly. So if you click this search icon up here and search for K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series, you'll be able to find this group. You will need to join it and become a member of it in order to participate. But the benefits of that is, this community has a list of all of our upcoming events, all of our upcoming bit sessions, including like links for where to moderate. And I will post the video from this recording. They'll be available. For example, this is our session from Monday, and it's all right there. available through the community. And then also be available is like the actual session, like the actual presentation deck. If we're, in this case today we did mostly demo, but for Monday, for example, Julie Evans from Project Tomorrow presented a number of slides. So if you wanted to download and look at those, you could do that here.
Melissa, to answer your question, this is a new community site that we just launched this summer. Previously for this series, I hosted a professional learning community in our course sites environment. And with the launch of our new community site for all things to engage our clients and for greater connectivity, we've moved that professional learning community to this new community site.
So, and yeah, and there are, a handful of reasons we did that. One, we are really proud of the new Blackboard community, and we're really, this has been something, clients across all products and markets have been asking for. And so definitely a big area of focus for us. But, the where we've built this community itself has a lot of advantages over where it was, previously hosted. Just in that we can track and start discussions a little bit easier. For example, if you think of a question about today's presentation that you meant to ask and didn't during a session, you can go ahead and type it in here. Maybe how do I create a portfolio? And then go ahead and ask it. And you just click post. And if you go to discussions, you can see all the existing discussions that's there. So, either myself or one of our product experts, would then, be able to see that question and respond to you. But, you might also, if one of us can't, get to it, somebody else from the community may be able to help answer your question. And so it's just, another way to kind of stimulate discussion. We know we have a lot of great users of our products, many of whom, present, through our Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series. So wanted to, the community is really a way to try and put all of these educators in touch with each other and, try and, make it easier to get some of those questions answered and to take some of those discussions, to give them a home. So if you do,
are you asked? Sorry, Riley. There's a question in the chat. Are you asking about the Course Sites PLC specifically for the K-12 Blackboard Innovative Teaching Series? When you're referring to the other one, yes. We're not going to take it down. So if you're using that, it'll still be there. We're just going to be adding all the new content to this new community site. And Riley's also bringing in all the content from the old PLC into this community site. So this will be the place to go moving forward, although we won't take that one down. It's just not going to be continued to be developed. We're bringing it into where all the community activities will occur for our customers.
Right, and so I will say this is you'll see when you join the community, this beta tag. Technically our Blackboard community it is in beta. There are some features and some things that we haven't made available yet, throughout the community site that will be in the future. Right now we're concentrating on gathering feedback and getting. Building our community. So, definitely a little bit of a work in progress, especially in terms of bringing content over. What I can tell you is that I'm sort of on a regular basis. I'm trying to spend some time every day bringing in old or past BITS session content and resources and making those available. And all new content is almost is updated almost instantly after this session. So as soon as we're done here, I'll actually pull the recording and make it available here. If you wanted to check back this afternoon. And so some of the other things you can see, you can search if you're looking for a type of resource, featured content. If you join, we'd like you to introduce yourself. We've got a poll about flipped classroom. There's also a discussion thread here that I'll be monitoring. If you're interested in being a presenter, just respond to that and I'll get in touch with you. And then you'll see here, we'll have some folders where you can find the recordings, session materials. Then, throughout the series and as we come across resources that we think will be helpful to the community, we'll upload them here. And then as a member, you should have some ability to start discussions and contribute as well.
Thanks, Riley. Really excited for the new PLC you've built for this group. It looks great.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, hoping everybody will take a moment to join sometime today in the near future. Like I said, we'll get the recording out to everybody after here. Here's the link for the community site if you would like to join and see that recording sooner. And unless there are any more questions, we can go ahead and wrap up for the day.
Thank you all so much for attending.
Yeah, thank you so much, Claudine. Great job.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, thank you,
you.
everybody. And just wanted to, real quick, if you do have questions or want to reach out to me, here's contact information. And hopefully we'll see you in the community site and during our sessions next week and beyond.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.